me. Feed me more. Feed me more. Feed me more. Feed me more. The Ryback Show starts now.
Welcome to the Ryback Show Live. I am the big guy. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Wednesday to everybody out there. Hope you're having a great day. Got a good night's rest and ready to attack the day. Hashtag hungry. Streaming live over on Instagram and TikTok. The big guy, Ryback22. Thank you guys. Straighten that up just a tad here on both platforms for watching the live stream. Swing on over, guys, to Ryback TV over here. We're also on Twitch at Ryback Rules, and Twitter. We have a stream up usually for a couple days, and then that gets canceled out over on at Ryback over on Twitter as well. Guys, you are the co-host of this show. Your questions are answered to the best of my ability on here. Anything on health, fitness, supplementation, mindset, pro wrestling, and anything and everything in between. The ebb and flow of the show goes where your questions go. Super chats are greatly appreciated. The big guys, Starbucks, coffee, and shoulder massage money every week. So super chats are brought up on the screen. Your channel name can be put up on the screen as well. A little plug for you guys on there. And if anybody else wants to follow you from Ryback TV, and they have the ability to do so. This podcast is on all podcast platforms. iTunes reviews are greatly appreciated as well. And this show is brought to you by Feed Me More Nutrition, my premium supplement line, sweetened with stevia and monk fruit, no harmful artificial sweeteners or colors, vegan friendly for all people, he, she, and thee, over on feedmemore.com. You could save 20% on your Feed Me More Nutrition and Ryback merch orders like this Ryback R Design logo t-shirt right here with discount code Ryback Show 20. That's Ryback Show 20 over on feedmemore.com. With that, we have the new website up as well, guys. So check that out. A lot easier to navigate. We have all the merch categorized into different categories as well, with the drinkware, the men's, the women's, the hats, and then the supplements. Guys, it really, really is much easier to navigate and get a free shaker bottle all month here. The Feed Me More Nutrition Premium Black Shaker bottles over on feedmemore.com. So just select that as your free gift when you're checking out, and you get a free $15 shaker bottle on top of the 20% discount. So a lot of cool different things, 13 different supplements, guys, and I think you will be very satisfied with what we have. Your reviews are also greatly appreciated. If you like the products, I ask you take a minute, leave a review on your favorite product. It really, really helps other people see what you guys already know. We're between 4.5, 5-star rated majority of the time on the supplements, which is not an easy thing to do. I could tell you all day long how great this stuff is, but it makes a drastic difference when it comes from other people, and just the way that it is. Even though I use all of this, I created all of this, it is my baby, it is my passion. It always is better when the reviews come from other people or in combination with, right? So what is going on? What do we got going on? Happy 40th birthday to Jeremy Williams. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. He says, I want to know how to get some Ryback gear. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Jeremy. I hope you have a great 40th birthday, my friend. And friend's a strong word. I don't know you. Buddy is an acquaintance, a Ryback Show acquaintance. Otherwise, I would be being misleading if I'm calling everybody friends, because that's a tough word to get with the big guy. We got all the merch over on feedmemore.com. If you go over there, you'll see we have a ton of new designs. And you click on each one, you can get long sleeve tank top, the t-shirts, the sweaters, and what else is there? And then we have men's and women's on the different designs as well, and all the different ball caps. And we got a lot of stuff on there right now. So check all that out. We got sticker packs with the Feed Me More, the Hungry, the Ryback Rules. So you guys, a lot of different things on top of the best supplements on the planet. I love these. I wear the 4X on these, man. I love the great quality on all the shirts. I think you guys are really going to like everything over there. Trucker says, when are you going to start shell shocking people again? Again, all that's going to be dependent on the legal stuff is my number one priority with the Ryback trademark. When we have about 4 months before that goes to decision, it could be settled at any point in time. Myself and WWE have agreed on most all the terms of the settlement. We've agreed on all terms except for the monetary amount, and I am holding strong and riding this all the way until the end, until I either win it or they agree to my terms. And I've gone this far. I can go a little bit further with no problem. So at any point that could be next weekend, it could be 4 months from now. It goes to decision in 4 months, and then it could take anywhere from 1 to 3 months for a decision, give or take, on any of that. And on top of that, I'm still continuously working on my shoulder. Can't stress enough, a right shoulder replacement is game over. It's never not been game over for anybody. I'm probably the first person in history that says, no, this isn't game over. So, this isn't like, this is just giving, this is a fact. This is a fact. And so I'm trying to get myself as sturdy as humanly possible to do what I want to do, because I will not come back unless I'm at my all-time best. And that's just the way, and I will. And I'm very confident. I'm not on anybody else's timeline. I've always been protected. And this is all kind of timed out perfectly and given me the time needed to get this. And it's, you guys will never understand the hours. I mean, and I'm talking hours. It is literally figured into every single day for the last 6 years of hours, not on top, not counting weight training, hours of rolling on scar tissue and hanging on pull-up bars and doing rehab exercises and not giving up. And I don't know if there's another person that would have not given up. I don't know. I could just tell you it's never been an option for me. But I also don't let your timeline, not saying you personally, but because I get it. You got to remember, I get it every single day. Can't open up a social media app, can't go out in public. When are you going to come back? When are you going to come back? So you can imagine, it's just like, in my mind, it's like, shut the F up. Just stop. Let me do my thing. I don't care if it's 20 years from now. I'm going to do it. I don't let anybody influence my decisions. I don't let anybody else's lack of belief in me dictate my belief in me, because I already know how far I've come. I've already won. So I'll be back when I'm back. And there's a lot that's, again, I run what I can control, what I can control right now. And the legal stuff is my number one priority, on top of continuously getting in better shape and getting this to where I'm really, really, really in a good spot, I apologize that you hurt your leg. You need to give it rest. I would give it just some ample rest and recovery, and without knowing too many details of it. Hello, hello. Scrolling through, looking for questions here. I am doing fantastic. Thank you. Happy Wednesday to you. Adam asks, Ryback, do you still own your original tights? Yeah, I own. I have all my Ryback stuff. I have all my Skip Sheffield stuff. I have all my original Ryback Terminator stuff. I've got the original Silverback stuff. I own. I've only sold a few of my Ryback singlets when I was in WWE. I think I sold one pair of boots once, and then I've kept the rest, and I haven't sold anything since. Like a lot of guys, when they leave, they sell their wrestling gear and whatnot, and I don't. I kept everything. I've always, I don't know, and a lot of those singlets, I keep all the singlets because they all can be re-airbrushed outside of the ones that get torn and where they start stretching out the material. But I've got a lot of singlets. I've got a couple brand new ones that I keep brand new that I won't wear, that I just keep just so they're ready. And then I have others that I can get re-airbrushed, and it's easy to get that stuff made. you can give it to any seamstress and say, can you just make me 10 of these singlets in different colors, all this size? And I've got the singlets. It's very easy to find a new seamstress. And like I've got airbrush. I've had an airbrush person. The one I had for WWE, the woman, I haven't, she stopped right at the end. And then I had a new guy, and he does very, very good work as well. But I haven't had to have anything done for the last few years. So, but if not, it's not hard to find an airbrush artist. There's so many talented people that they're like, you're just like, hey, can even if they've never done it, I feel like if they're pros with airbrushing, all they do is get a mannequin and throw the singlet on the mannequin, and they're able to do the designs from the people I've seen, and how, you know, quickly they're able to do it. And it's a skill. It's just like painting, you know, it's second. It's just like it's second nature to them. It's incredible. I'm always impressed by people that have different qualities that I haven't or understand and know, and it's what makes each individual so cool and unique. You know, things that I think are easy are super difficult to other people, and things like that to me. Like if you told me to like airbrush my singlet, it's like it's going to be just an R in a really bad feed me more. It's going to be so basic, and it's going to be like you don't know. Maybe it would be a work of art because it looks so sloppy. People think it was done so sloppy on purpose because they didn't know I did it. But if you would see my childhood drawings, you would know that you know, and God bless the school and my parents for letting me draw. They let me draw a lot because I had a sister, so we drew all the time, and she made sure to save. My mom saved all that crap. I don't have an artistic bone in my body. Like I like you can lock me away for the rest of my life and say you could be released when you become a good painter, not even great, just good, and I'm just going to be locked away for life drawing stick figures and like just, you know. um Arbitrary says, any thoughts on the recent rumors of Punk politicking behind the scenes to try and have Colt fired from AEW? So I'm not there. I don't know what's true, what's not true. I know Colt Cabana was used there prior to Punk coming in. I know that he has not been used nowhere near the amount, or even if he's there, I don't know, since Punk has been there. I could just tell you, in my experience, and you guys think, and not you guys, the ones that know. A lot of people were afraid to speak up about Punk because of the power that Punk had when he was in WWE. That never once influenced anything. I was like, if you're a piece of crap human being and treat people like a piece of crap, you're not good in my book. And he was never good in my book. And he didn't like that because he couldn't do anything to me. And it drove him crazy, which is why he went behind my back. I found out trying to do a lot of negative things and stir up a lot of things. And I'm going to give you John Moxley, for example. When he went to the Shield, when me and the Shield got along just great, and he tried to convince them that I was going to no sell them and cause all these problems. When, by the way, I've never caused any problems. But that's the kind of individual that he is, and that is a cancer and a poison to a locker room because he's very two-faced, and he could switch it back and forth. And I'm telling you, that's a very dangerous person because he is an egomaniac. He is a sociopath, and he's self-proclaimed sociopath. By the way, that's not a gimmick. He's a psycho with that, and his ego is far. I've just seen things with him and treated people like it's not good. It's not good, and so I don't know. I don't know if he's changed. I don't know what's going on between him and that. I'm not there. I can't. But I do know that it would not shock me one bit. And I don't think it's any accident or correlation. And the problem is you got a guy like that you got Colt, who unfortunately is not like in a position of like he's not, and not to say that he can't, and he's won a great career. And I like Colt a lot with everything. And it's unfortunate with the way he's apologized to me for letting Punk come on the show and do all that. Because me and Colt always got along and always never had any issues and never been close, but like we never had any issues and always got along. Right. And to see how that's all played out, it's crazy with that. But Punk's the type of person that, and that's what I'll tell you this. I don't care how much, no, this is just this. I think I can say this very just, you take out ego, you take out everything. I don't care how much I don't like somebody. I'm not going to try to not let that person get hired or get work. I think that is a whole other level of like just psycho craziness. That I think if you're dealing with somebody like that, you're dealing with a problem. If that is the case, but they'll see, they'll see. You know, sometimes people fall in love with a character that people play, and they don't. Everyone loved Bill Cosby, and this isn't in connection to the Punk and that, but like everyone, Bill Cosby played such a, a great role in the Cosby Show, right? That you thought like that guy, you believe that in real life, right? And then it's like Danny Tanner in Full House. Like he was such a wholesome dad in the show that when he would do his comedy and cuss, people are like, "Oh my God, Danny Tanner cusses. That's not Danny Tanner. That's Bob Saget." And so I think that, and this is the problem with pro wrestling, and that people fall in love with characters, and wrestling can blur the lines at times with reality and scripted entertainment, where there is realism in different moments, and it gets infused at different times, so it does create confusion with things. But I'm not there at the end of the day, and I don't know what he's doing. I'm just going to say, if those are the rumors, and you look at the facts that he was on TV and being used prior to him getting there, and he's not been used nowhere near in the same capacity or even there since him being there, do we think that there's a pretty good chance, in all likelihood, there's a connection there? And based off what I know with what he's done and what he tried to do with me, he tried to get me sent back down to developmental. By the way, I've talked about this. And then I went right to Vince and got that shut, like literally just told Vince, I go, do it. No idea where it came from. Vince didn't want to do it, but Punk was lying out of his ass so bad to try anything to get me out of the picture, because him and Cena didn't like that I infringed on their merchandise numbers. You're dealing with the guys that are like that. They're poison to the wrestling industry and business. And I don't think it's any accident that since Punk has been used in a favorable role in pro wrestling, that its popularity has gone down. You guys saw what happened to him when he went to UFC. It is what it is. So you got people that are going to like him and support him with all of that, and it is what it is. And I try to speak as honestly as I can on everything with it. But I think it's bad when if you got somebody like that is trying to prevent people from getting jobs in wrestling. They don't love the wrestling business; they love themselves, and that is a very, very dangerous thing. It's not to say that that person doesn't have other things about them that might be good to pro wrestling and whatnot, because you can never just say anything as a whole. But in general, that is a locker room cancer, and it is that pitting people against each other, which he tried to do multiple times with me and other people. And there's other stories. It's not me telling those; it's other top guys telling those stories. Mox is saying, "I love Ryback. Ryback's a sweetheart." But why is Punk doing that? That tells you everything you need to know right there. Outside, unless you want to believe the character, and you want to believe Bill Cosby didn't give those girls those things because Mr. Huxtable would never do something like that, right? You've lost sense of reality. The Luau, thank you for the super chat. Any new flavors of Wake Up Unlimited Energy on the horizon? I use it every day and it's awesome. Nothing better on the market. Thank you very, very much. Please, if you can leave a review, it is greatly appreciated. Not right now. We have nothing on the table for that right now. Thank you very much. Would you say you winning the settlement against wins is like shell shocking Vince from a skyscraper? um, Either I'm going to win the trademark. I'm very confident in that. I don't think, and then knowing what I know, and that they don't want it to go to a decision, because they know there's a very, very, very strong likelihood that I'm going to win the trademark, which is why they reached out to settle. And now I think they took care. They handled the situation with the XFL and Andrew Luck. I think they're kind of just going down the line of things, and that's why, like I said, they were wasted about 5 months of time on this that we took to dedicate to settling this. That they waited 5 months to get back on, and making excuses, and they would just keep delaying that as long as they could because they had nothing to lose because it wasn't getting closer to decision. So once I caught on to what they were doing, he goes, "Oh, I'm just going to take this all the way to the decision. You guys either really want to settle this or you don't. And if not, I'm going to win it, and you guys are out of luck on it. And it is what it is." So, how to get tall? Yeah, you are getting tall is outside. It's something that is genetically predetermined, and you get what you get, and the key is to learn to be happy and have self esteem. And if you're born and you're 5'8", and you continuously are getting shut down by girls taller than you, and you've just got a thing for taller girls, I would say build some self esteem and keep trying until you find a woman that doesn't mind being taller than you, or start looking at women that are shorter than you. There's the saying goes, there are plenty of fish in the sea with that. So it's learning to build your self esteem and finding what is right for you with that. And I'm sure there's a 4'8", 5 foot woman out there, however tall you are, there's a shorter woman than you out there. If that, and build self esteem and confidence and realize that you're not for everybody and not everybody's for you. And that's it. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time and just being miserable and unhappy over something that you cannot control. I mean, hey, you can go buy an inversion table and hang upside down for 17 hours a day and tell yourself that you're going to get taller. And at the end of your life, you're going to have wasted God knows how much time hanging upside down. Hello, hello. Good to see all of you. Leah, thank you for tuning into the Ryback Show. Always a pleasure to see all of you here. I used to watch The Simpsons when I was younger. I've not watched it in many, many years. I do not know who I relate to most in that show. Glad I caught your live. Good to see all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Cisco says, love your redesigned website. Any plans on making a Rybacker shirt? Yeah, I'm sure that I can constantly get new designs. We just got a bunch of new ones put up, and that's not a bad idea, getting a Rybacker shirt up. That's a pretty solid idea. Thank you. I will when I speak to them next, I will pitch that. If everyone can report the foreskin back, Reeves skin, I don't know how they got back. It's great YouTube. He was reported, and I don't know how or what he does, but if we can go ahead and just make sure, because he's able to just create endless accounts and spam the chat, unfortunately, and I apologize, but it is what it is. We will shell shock them all out of Rybackville, and they will continue to lose. Always enjoyed your work. I'm curious how many calories you have to eat daily to maintain your size. It depends on the amount of cardio and conditioning, but I don't have to eat all that much, actually. I can, when I say that though, but I eat to me, I eat 4 meals a day. 3 of those are meals, and the other one is a shake, and my ISO Hungry plant powered caramel cookie shake, protein shake, and then I do an organic peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That will be right after this. That will be my pre-gym meal that I do with that. But like even my performance meal in the morning is a lot of vegetables, and like the meals are anywhere from 75, 80 grams, sometimes to 100 grams of protein between those 4 meals. So I get ample amount of protein throughout the day, but I don't need like a lot of carbs to maintain my size. And I don't know if it's just because I've gotten in being big for so long, but I used to eat more. I used to eat more. Um, but I say that in the sense of I used to eat a lot of meat and chicken and meat, and I didn't eat anything else. So it seemed like it would be these, and like sometimes it would be other stuff on there, but not no like now it's so much more diverse. So maybe it isn't. I just feel like I ate more prior, and maybe it wasn't. Maybe I ate a little more often, but it would be like eating a couple chicken breasts every few hours, every 2.5, 3 hours. Um, Whereas now it's just 4 times a day in bigger portions on those four. So maybe it evens out, but I feel like I don't eat quite as much as I used to. Chris Masters looks great still. I don't know. Chris Masters is in fantastic shape. Uh, so I don't know. Super chat. The Luau, any talks with toy companies like Chila, Zombie, etc. for a Ryback action figure? No, I've not. There was one group of people that had messaged on Instagram to do a Ryback action figure, and they unfortunately then as they were working with a few other people, they had nothing, they had not done anything yet, and so I'm waiting to see if they do anything, because I've had people in the past, and I own everything, so I can, the moment I want to do something, I can with that. I just haven't with that. We'll have to see. I don't know if Zach and them, right? If I ever did anything, it would probably be with somebody like Zach Ryder, if like that knows about all that. I've just not even that's not even something I think about with any of that. So Tommy, I do not hate Vince's mom. I never made fun of Vince's mom. I stated a fact, and I don't understand what your obsession with all that is. But I wish you a good life, and you're now shell shocked out of Rybackville forever. Let me go ahead and shell shock him out of Rybackville forever. Gone. Were there any unexpected challenges, obstacles of starting your own supplement brand? Oh, many, a lot. I can't even. I mean, so much goes into starting your own business and learning all the aspects of that business. And marketing is always the most frustrating part. And it was really great for a while, and it is beyond frustrating. And uh, I don't. It's like something. It's constantly. There's been a lot of changes in the last couple of years with COVID, and like with the social media companies on tracking and like in advertising, and that made it a lot more difficult to get the right customers. So that's something that is continuous. It's like every day there's something with business and with that, and there's great days, there's good days, and then there's just flat out bad days. And it's just learning to they go, okay, today was a bad day, and then that doesn't mean tomorrow's going to be, and it usually isn't. And it's just like, but like early on, and there's a lot of frustrating things, and things happen, and then you learn from those, and you make adjustments, and like Amazon created so many headaches and problems for me, because I used to handle everything with Amazon on top of everything before I had fulfillment, right? And there was just so many problems. I had hundreds of my pre-workouts shipped back to me, sent to my door. They sent them back to my house back when this is early on, and for no reason. I did nothing. And they were like, so I had to take, there was constantly like things that were giving me headaches. I learned, I don't want to deal with these headaches from them. I want to get professionals to sell on Amazon so they could deal with that stuff. So I could worry about the other big stuff that I need to be doing. And you overcome it, you learn from it, and you delegate responsibilities over time. And then you have new problems that arise. And I mean, every day, it doesn't matter who you are, how big your business is. The bigger your business, the bigger the problems, right? And so it's you learn how to handle them more efficiently, and take a moment, and when you get frustrated, to take a step away from the moment, and let things settle down, and then knock things out. And like I said yesterday or the other day on my social media, solutions over problems. And that's why like when I start encountering problems, I'm like, okay, I'm sitting in problems, I got to now get solutions. And I'll oftentimes you try to work with the problem for a little bit, and when the problem is the problem, you got to move on, and find the solution, and get rid of the problems. And that's what I do. Thank you, Leah. I love doing all the content on social media, on TikTok and Instagram. I think that's it's the people that get it. The people that don't never will. And those are usually like wrestling fans, like the marks, the negative portion of them that hate on the stuff. And it's I love doing it. I'm the most followed pro wrestler or person from wrestling on TikTok, and where you got people on TV that are nowhere near me, and that have had accounts before me, and that's not by accident. And that's so I have I'm pretty confident in the content. I'm just myself, and I just have fun, and it's I have a good time on there. I love to laugh. Laughing is key in all of it for me. I appreciate all the love and support. Super chats coming in. Joseph Michael says, "Do a video eating Crossroads Kitchen, Las Vegas." Definitely, Joe. I definitely want to go there. That's again, it's down on the strip. I don't know about I don't think the delivery apps do anything. What I would have to do is go down there and put an order in. Maybe I'll do that this Friday. We'll see. I'll see what they have. I'll see if I could place an order and go pick it up, and then just eat it out in the car. I definitely want to go dine there, though. They look like they have a really, really fantastic menu. Albert Chi, thank you for the super chat. Not sure if you've mentioned this on a previous video, live Q&As. Where did the phrase "feed me more" come from, and how do you apply that into your professional and personal lifestyle? I created that at Smoky Bones. I've talked about it countless times on here, on that. And it was something, one of the cooks, it became the code word for when the cooks at Smoky Bones would hide food from me on that. And I was just like, I'm gonna let's and when we had that, and then it was one of a motivational book that I was reading, and this was after The Secret book, but the book talked about feeding it's your soul, and I had to feed me more, and it just, to me right there, like the meaning of it, really, I understood the meaning of feed me more outside of what it was for eating, for the code word at Smoky Bones, was wanting more out of every area of life and being hungry for more. And that's where I really started learning about me as a human being an individual, which is why it means so much to me. It was never a WWE created thing. It was never anything. It was something that I discovered not there, and it became my identity, and helped waking up and understanding my purpose, and striving for more in all areas of life, and not being a victim, and understanding that things happen, and just striving for more, and balance, like I said, and happiness and love, and more money, and more success, and more of everything, but balance, and more balance. Like, because you see oftentimes people have such drastic differences with certain things, and they might have a lot of money, but they lack a lot of other things, or they don't have a lot of money, but they have a lot of happiness or peace, right? So it's trying to find a nice combination and balance of all of it, while just striving for more, to be our absolute best. But it was in that Smoky Bones kitchen that all that came together. I used to look at the cook and feed me more, and that nobody would really. They always knew I was eating, but that would be like, hey, let's maybe get a steak and or some ribs or mess up on a steak, and we'd had secret hiding spots in there. They would hide boxes of food that people wouldn't be able to find. That I would, when I would be in between my 8 tables, I would be because they would let me do as many tables as I wanted, and because I worked nonstop. People were lazy, and like I just worked. I hustled for every dollar, and so I'd hurry back there and grab the steak, take a bite out of the steak, wash my hands off, back out there waiting tables, and like that was. But that's where that all came about. Good to see all of you. Yeah, I apologize, guys, on the people. It's one of the things what they try to do. The people, and you think they would figure it out that it's never going to stop me or stop the show. They know that I do a question and answer format on the show, and so the groups of them, and they probably got their little message boards, and they try to come in here at times and try to disrupt the chat, which they can never disrupt the chat. I can literally just scroll, block, and find the question still. But it's just people. They don't work. They don't have anything else better to do with their lives, and they love the big guy. What can you say? Cisco says, I just watched your table for three with Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan. You really kept your cool, but I felt like you wanted to smack Daniel Bryan upside his head because he kept talking over you. I don't even remember that. I just remember I didn't. That was in Brooklyn. We didn't get paid. We didn't make a dollar off of doing any of that. I was pissed off that I had a match. I think it was either TV or paper. I think it was pay per view. I think it was. I think was I. That might have been was I might have been IC. It was IC champion at the time. I think, and I don't know who I can't remember because I just remember I had a green singlet with the Statue of Liberty, which was me as a Statue of Liberty. But they were like, "You guys got to go film this table for three," and I'm like, "What do you mean go film?" Like, I'm like, I've got stuff to do, and like we don't get paid for this stuff, and they're making money on these shows. And I remember I was just like, and I have no idea, I completely checked out. And me and Dolph always joked around, but Dan can be a little. You've heard it from people with that, and but me and Dan always got along really well. The but I just didn't care. Like I'll joke and laugh. Like that's the thing. Like you film these things and you joke around and like behind the scenes and whatnot. And but like I look at things like I don't. I'd have to go back and watch to look and see. But like Dan will go into business for himself a lot. Like, and that's something like I can just care less. Like, is at the end of the day, I know I could beat Dan's ass. This is just not like. So I'm not like I don't really get too upset. Like I'm not like if somebody thinks like they need to like look tough and like oh I talk trash to Ryback on a thing. I'm just thinking like, bro, I think you're a loser. Like if that's what you're like really trying to do, like I know I will smash you in any other setting. Like I'm not worried. And I'm not saying like I like Dan, but he can like if that's what your true intentions are trying to do, like it's I can just care less. I could care less over it because I know at the end of the day, like when it all comes down to it, like I'm pretty confident. So, but it was usually it's all good fun. Me and Dolph always got along, but like I don't like I'd have to go back because I've never actually just sat and watched the whole thing, and I was so checked out at that point already, anyways, of things going on that like I just didn't care. So but I don't think Dan was trying to probably do anything. It was Dan will just like Dan will go into a business for himself and try to just use other people to get a laugh. And he does it all the time. And you'll hear people they talk about it where they say he's a bully, and all you got to do is just tell him to f off and like just be serious, and he'll stop. And like, but a lot of like but like if you don't, he will, you know. But that was a situation I don't even remember what was even said or not said. Like if I would have reacted out of anger or got mad, people would have been like, oh, Ryback's a piece of trash, right? There would have been no, but if I'm back and I lay back and I'm cool because I don't care, then what is it? Like, oh, Dan's picking on Ryback. And it's like, this guy doesn't pick on me like in any setting. I don't care what you want to think or want to believe. Like, there's no setting on the face of this planet that guy's picking on me, other than this show that we're not getting paid for that I don't care about. Good to see you guys. Another super chat coming in. Super chat. Tyler Sugar, good to see you, my man. A Ryback Show regular. What's up, Ryback? Texting you from inside a pool. LOL. Nothing can stop me from watching Ryback live. Be careful. Do not drop your phone in the water, Tyler. And I hope you're having a good time. I used to take my phone into my hot tub and by my pool, but I'd be at the edge. And then I realized I just need to stay away. Like I used to do work, and I realized I needed times throughout the day where like I need to just like not be around it for extended periods of time. And so now when I do my pool hot tub time, my phone just stays away completely. I keep it over on one of the outside furniture out by the patio and take a nice little break. But one time on the hot tub, I had it sitting on the shell with my shirt or my towel, and the wind was blowing, and the wind blew the shell up enough, and it dropped the phone right into the water. And you want to talk about, like, I was really busy that day. I had to stop everything and then go to the store and get a new phone. And it was a pain in the ass. And I just go, that's a sign. That was a sign not to take breaks, and lesson learned. But I appreciate you watching the Ryback Show at any cost. Just do not ruin your phone, please. These spammers are too much. Randy says, can you tell your side of the story when you, Daniel Bryan, and Cody went to Panera Bread? Yeah, I've talked about that countless times. I literally have, I think, videos on YouTube about that. That story was greatly exaggerated on both of their parts, which, as I've told you guys, I love those guys in different ways, but like they would literally tell me they were going to make it. Like we'd be in the car and they would literally tell me their lies ahead of time before going and telling lies, and to try to entertain people. And like once I saw, to me, that's not, by the way, I don't think those are true, genuine friends, people that do that. And I just they're storytellers, but they're kind of like, you got to know when to be real and when not to be full of BS. And but they would take a situation like that in where it was partially correct, where I didn't want to eat there. I wanted, because this is why I wrote on my own, so I can get my own food with that. Because I didn't, I would have days where I ate very little carbs, right? So like I would go to a Subway so I can get 8 or 10 chicken breasts or sides of steak, whatever it was that I was eating at the time, and I could portion it out. I had my routine, and finding a Panera Bread was much more difficult than finding a Subway and different things. And I never had been to Panera Bread at that time. And I was just more, it was then it turned into a rib bowl. Like we're just going to go there and not Subway. And I was unhappy just with the fact that I'm just like, man, my diet, this is a very important thing to me. And that it wasn't like there were options there you can get, but it was just like, I was pissed, not that I didn't want to look and couldn't read a menu. I was just pissed that I wasn't riding on my own to not deal with the BS on that. And so they like to leave out little important details of all of that I was already pissed at them prior to that. And then you could order the sides of stuff there, but it was like they didn't sell stuff like Subway where you could just buy that stuff individual and like get it really cheap. And that was before I was making money in WWE. So I was on a budget too. You got to remember, I had my legal stuff going on. Like, again, important details not being left out. Like I being on the road 5 days a week, my money, I mean, I was making no money. It was very, very little money. I was not being paid. They were keeping money, and it was a big ordeal with that. And they were doing that on purpose. I didn't realize at the time, tied into my legal stuff, and that was tied into my settlement, and then me dropping that and them putting me in the main event, so that then I was making more money than ever, and then I would be more likely to not rock the boat. And there was a lot of psychological things going on that even at the time that I was not privy to until later. with all of that. But yeah, I was just frustrated going there. I've eaten at Panera Bread many times since, and it's very easy to eat there. I was just at the end of the day I wanted to be able to go to Subway, go grab 8, 10 chicken breasts. It would have taken 5 minutes. And it was more of that I don't think I was driving. And it was, I don't know if it was Dan driving or Cody. And it was like, oh, we're just going to Panera Bread. And it was just like, all right. And I think it was I started writing on my own pretty shortly thereafter, and I took control of everything of that way. And I did that too because a lot of guys didn't work out. I go work out. I'd go to the gym for 2.5, 3 hours, right? And I don't like to set a time based off of like with groups. And you have to do what you have to do when you're going. But I realized I go, this is the most important stuff for me. And I'm dealing with my injuries. You got to remember right away with my nerves in my leg and my back and the shoulder. This stuff was going on right from the beginning. So I needed to make sure that I set aside all this time to take care of myself. And I just realized it was going to be better to ride alone. And then I realized too, when I saw the money being manipulated, I go, oh, I got to start learning how to take money and make money, business. I got stocks, things like that, right? And so I use that time to get a free education and listen to audiobooks and not sit in the car with a group of guys that complain about all the other stuff and or go sit at TV and complain about everybody else and who's getting pushed. Like I just stayed to myself, worked hard, did what was asked, and learned in my spare time. And but the story was greatly exaggerated, as anyone you could see they do. They're storytellers, and they sometimes don't know when to separate from doing that on screen to real life. Hello, hello. Am I a binge eater or have I ever been one? Uh, no, I wouldn't. I'd say maybe when I was younger, not binge eating in the sense I would do a cheat day and eat a lot more junk on days. That was very short lived, and I'm not in any way a binge eater. I don't like get upset or like I don't use like if something bad happens, I'm not my first reaction or not even my 100th reaction is to like I'm going to go stuff my face and like I don't use food for comfort or anything. It is simply just a source of energy and has been for the majority of my life. Super chat, Tyler Sugaru. What finisher combo would hurt more, super kick and tombstone, or super kick and spear? It's a really mark question there, Tyler. I honestly, Tyler, I don't know how to answer this one. I guess if I'm gonna answer this, the spear can hurt more than any of the other moves in the sense of that it can. I've had my ribs cracked on the spear. Roman Reigns has talked about this. This is why I joke about when Punk always joked that I broke his ribs. I never did. I wrestled Punk with cracked ribs because on the match, I think it was at the Elimination Chamber where I was going to shell shock Seth, I believe. When I was going for the shell shock, Roman hit me with the spear and I pulled Seth on top of me. And it was that move. I couldn't protect myself because I was concerned about making sure getting Seth down properly. And in the move in Roman, we it was a hard connection and it happens. And I'll never, it's like stuff happens all the time out there. And it was the first time I remember anything of that kind of move being done. And that it was a really, really cool, badass finish, I thought. But it cracked two of my ribs. That it was a hard hit. So I know those spears and Roman, I think I think he does it he really knows how to take care of people on that. That was just, I think, a very difficult thing with having Seth and making sure to take that and get Seth on top of me from being in the shell shock position with that. But the tombstone obviously there is if not that Undertaker's ever if Undertaker's given it, it's pretty much 100% guaranteed to be you're going to be okay based off of his career of never hurting anyone or breaking anyone's neck that I know of anyways on that. But I would not I'm not a fan of taking pile drivers. I think if I ever was going to, there would only be two people I would let deliver that move to me, and that would be Kane and Undertaker. but I don't know which one would I the spear. I'm going to say the spear combo would hurt worse because the spear has hurt me before. There's so many weirdos online. Hello, hello. Thank you very much. Yes, I do have YouTube. I've been heavily restricted. We're trying to get to 1 million subscribers. I can barely even get 1,000 per month now. They've dropped it down, and they're even like when we use things to get video views for the videos to get it seen by more people. They're like blocking the promotions to get the video seen. I'm like, why would you block promotions that are paid for to get videos seen? And I know why. It's just crazy that the costs that are going on in WWE's cranked it up with everything going on with this and like with Twitter and it's gonna be a beautiful day when this is all over and the truth is gonna continue to win. And well, I'm just waiting patiently until Vince is gone. Sorry, let me see if I missed a super chat. My favorite books, the two I recommend to people are The Secret and Be Obsessed or Be Average. That will give you the best of both worlds. I'm not seeing, let's see if well, yeah, we're not seeing any other super chats. Wait, unless that was it. Yeah, Timmy, sorry. Timmy G with the super chat. Was SmackDown pre live a different vibe, structure to Raw by how it was time managed? There seemed dubbed reactions in for TV when it was recorded. Um, I got to go back and think. It was definitely more laid back because I think it was. I don't remember what year it went live or if it was ever live. I know I'm pretty sure we did some live shows on SmackDown if I'm not mistaken, when I was there. But if I'm not, I want to say the majority were taped. I remember SmackDowns were just more laid back in general. Raw was the live. SmackDown, everything, because Raw you got pre tapes that you would want to do pre tapes and they couldn't get done, and you had to do live backstage. It was oftentimes it's not the wrestlers, it's all the other people and how frantic and hectic they can get of like and how nervous they could get. Um, and then you've got other like I always was completely cool doing everything live. I enjoyed it. I like that vibe. But SmackDown it is always because you just can't the adrenaline cannot be as much on a taped segment as it can on a live. It's just it doesn't matter. You cannot it maybe be close, but it will never be the same as they're doing live. So everything's just more laid back in general. But sometimes SmackDown, what you would do, they would do things that were live to the crowd. So it did have that sense of, and that'd be like the next best thing. So it's live to the crowd. But if something were to seriously go wrong, they would have you, redo it for TV. And I don't recall anything ever happening with me with that, but I'm pretty sure I've seen something like that happen before. Um, but SmackDown, it was just more. Everyone was more laid back. Everyone knew it was the last day, get to go home for a day and a half or 2.5 days, depending on your schedule. And so it was always the end of the work week. So it was a little just more relaxed. As much as and in the grand scheme of it, is how relaxed can still going out and performing in front of thousands of people be? You'd be amazed. It'd actually be a huge difference. Incorrect. We've got people. Ugh. What disgusting human beings we have on here. If everyone could report that foreskin guy, I don't know what the hell his deal is. I have zero time for trash human beings. Jesus Christ. Literally, you guys can never ever stop me. So you can continue to try. Ugh. Hello, hello. Stop with the spamming on the other people. We will. Everyone will be shell shocked out of Rybackville. Tyler Sugar, another super chat from the pool today. Who do you think is a bigger risk taker, Shane McMahon or Jeff Hardy? Who puts their body on the line more? I think Jeff has, obviously, from being a full time wrestler for much, much longer. But Shane has absolutely done some crazy, crazy stuff as well with that. Lucas, check out my Feed Me More maximum size and strength workout program on feedmemore.com. With that, that has different beginner, intermediate, and advanced routines. Yes, we can't ban the people. There are certain people that I don't know what they are using, what tools, where they have been banned from the channel and the chat, and they are able to continue creating accounts. So, guys have been doing this for quite a while, but I appreciate you always looking out. All right, here. Let's see. Would I ever change my shell shock finisher? No, the shell shock is the shell shock is the shell shock. Uh, yeah, it's not hard. These people have created. They've got hundreds of accounts. Unfortunately, is the Royal Rumble the hardest match in the WWE? No, it's a pretty easy match actually. It's just a matter of having time to plan some stuff. But in general, Royal Rumbles are beyond easy. Yeah, broccoli is fantastic. I have broccoli in the morning with my performance meal. I usually put a serving or two of broccoli in there. Very, very, very good. I love it. Like moringa, like moringa has a really good amount of iron as well. And like I take my moringa capsules. I got my moringa tree. I'll cut leaves off out there and put it with my performance meal. And there's so many when you start learning, sea moss is fantastic as well. A lot of vitamins and minerals in that. There's so many cool natural things that make getting all your nutrients very, very easy. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, YouTube definitely needs to get on top. I've reported the account to YouTube, so it's unfortunate that YouTube has just not taken action. So if you guys can report, hopefully enough people that YouTube will I don't know what they can do to prevent this guy from uh get him off YouTube forever. Tyler Sugar says, "What inspired you to pick the shell shock?" It was a fisherman suplex, and I when I was away with my ankle injury with Nexus, I I put together. I had my things. I was gonna come back as and be for Ryback that I wanted and have the names of the moves and kind of have things in place that are really you got to know these things. When you go and you have a finisher and you get to TV and they go, it's better to have your own stuff and have your own names than to let somebody just tell you, oh, you need a finisher. If they see that you've not given any thought to having a finisher, they're like, how can this guy be a top guy? He puts no thought into any of his stuff with that. And so it was an extra level of planning that I saw not a lot of guys did at the time, especially from developmental and having a lot of things or understanding of who they were. And so that when you do go and you decide that you don't call the stuff that right away, but it's when you're doing your move and then the announcers you go, the guy, that name, I call that shell shock. And that way, and they don't say that right away, but when it's the appropriate time and they say it, and then, and everything kind of comes into its own and in a natural, organic way when the time is right. Hello, hello. Thank you, Kevin, for the kind words. Yep, I'm a big believer. Just pick what you want to do and just go for it, and just enjoy the journey and each day. Now I think of Ninja Turtles with Shell Shock. Yeah, and that's where I always like that name Shell Shock. And no one's ever called a finishing move Shell Shock. And the cool thing was the real meaning of Shell Shock in outside of Ninja Turtles is battle fatigue. It's in war, and in your enemy or the opponent is fatigued and can't continue on. They've been shell shocked. I think it's the perfect fitting name for a finisher. And that was what, but I loved Ninja Turtles as a kid. So, but it's taking things and having an understanding of them and applying it. And, obviously, and I always loved that name as a kid. And I think I had a lot of elements to the Ryback character with the colors and the names of things and the mannerisms and the intensity and the power, the hybrid power moves that kids dig. And oftentimes, if you could play that powerhouse and have all this stuff, that attracts kids more than any other style. And that I believe if you could pull that off. Tyler, you have a good day as well, my man. Be safe in the pool, buddy. Someone says, I saw your match in Delhi. You were the star of the night. India loves you. Thank you very much, buddy. I had a great time over there. And I don't remember I'm trying to think, who did I wrestle in India? Was it me and Rusev in India? I can't remember, but it was, I remember the crowd was absolutely outstanding. All right, guys. With that, we're going to wrap up today's show. I got to get some stuff done. A big cardio and sauna day, conditioning day today, and a lot more Feed Me More nutrition work, and a couple calls here in a little bit. So I'll be back. We'll have a couple more Ryback shows this week, most likely Saturday or Friday and Sunday, depending on the way things go. If not, possibly Saturday, Sunday. But I'll have to see here with how busy Friday is going to be with everything. But as always, I appreciate all the love and support, guys. Don't forget to check out Feed Me More Nutrition, my premium supplement line on feedmemore.com, where you can get the best supplements on the planet. And you can save 20% with discount code Ryback Show 20. That's Ryback Show 20 over on feedmemore.com. And we got all the new Ryback merch. You don't want to pick up any supplements, they're not your thing. Then we've got a ton of merchandise, shirts, tank tops, workout apparel, shorts, pants, guys, drinkware, sticker packs. We've got it all over there. Check it out. We have something for everyone. A lot of cool designs, and I think you'll be happy with the new website and everything else. Let's have a good one, guys. Have a great hump day. Let's finish the week strong. And until next time, my friends, stay hungry. Feed me more.
Hey Rybackers, don't forget to hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and shell shock those notifications. For the best supplements on the planet with Feed Me More nutrition and all the latest cool new Ryback merch, visit feedmemore.com.